So I'm Jacqui Oakley. I'm the research manager for the UK Longitudinal Linkage Collaboration. And I've just got a couple of slides. I'm going to outline the legal documentation that we require from you and your organisation as part of the data provision process. Moving the slide. Yeah, so yes, so stage in the process, which Stella outlined previously, is here, and we'd actually, so after you've chosen your data blocks and worked with Sammy to just select those, before we're able to provision data and send you your secure YubiKey to access the trusted research environment, there are a few pieces of legal documentation that we would need to work through with you and your organisations. We're required to do this because we have a legal obligation to NHS Digital to only provide access to safe researchers and in a safe manner. So the first thing that we'd ask for is completion of a data user responsibility agreement. So every researcher who is accessing the TRE would be required and asked to fill in one of these. It's a simple Google form, and it basically acknowledges and provide agreement that you would follow the 5 safes. That's a very quick process to complete. At the same time, we'd work with you to complete a data access agreement. So we need one of these per organisation that's accessing the TRE. So if you're part of a project that has 3 universities on it, we would need 3 data access agreements to be signed, and we'd work with the relevant universities to help complete these. So this provides us reassurance that your organisation will comply with NHS Digital's conditions. It outlines things like intellectual property and institutional liability, and it's signed by an authorised signatory within your university. So this could be somebody within your contracts department or your finance department or a head of department, possibly. As part of the data access agreement, we ask for reassurance that your organisation has an NHS data security and protection toolkit. So this is a voluntary, it's a form that's completed on behalf of your organisation, and if your university has used NHS linked data previously, then it would already have one of these data protection toolkits. If, for example, your organisation does not have one of these, we do have an alternative form that we'd work with you to complete. So that should be fairly straightforward. We are working to try and make the signature of the data access agreement a smoother, quicker process. So we've developed a shorter form. It has simpler language. The form and the agreement will accommodate any amendments to your applications. So Stella talked through changes in data requests or changes in users, and this agreement would accommodate all those changes very easily. We are working to allow the streamlining of signatures. So at the same time as working with Sammy to agree your data blocks, we can start the signature process within your organisation. And within Bristol, we can sign the agreements within hours of receiving your completed data access agreement. So those are the bits of paperwork and legal agreements that we work with you to complete. We don't want these to pose a barrier time-wise in the provision of data to you. So, we have some top tips. So if you could find out who your authorised signatory is within your organisation, this would help us direct the contract directly to them for signature. We can send a draft contract if they would like to see this and review it ahead of signature. It helps if you could determine whether your organisation has an NHS data security and protection toolkit. Otherwise, we can start working with the alternative form with you as soon as possible. And also, we're happy to respond to any questions, and we can directly work with the relevant departments in your university to help directly address those questions. That was everything I had to say about the legal documentation. Apart from, we would then, once we've completed the legal documentation, we would post you your secure key and you'd have access to the system. So yeah, now we have a break for questions. So these are questions for